This kitten turned into a giant ostrich after getting adopted. A 2-month-old ginger kitten was adopted by a family who were shocked when it started growing like crazy. The kitten was only 2 pounds when it came home, but within 6 weeks it had put on over 5 pounds. What made this even stranger is that it also grew to be 7 times its original size. So, how exactly did this happen? Well, keep watching as we reveal what really happened to the kitten. A couple in their 30s wanted to adopt a cat, so they went online to see if there were any adoption services in their area. They found a nearby shelter where they could meet some cats that needed forever homes. So they got in their car and drove to the animal shelter. It was here where they would soon meet an adorable little kitten that would soon become part of their family. Upon arriving at the shelter, they were greeted by a friendly woman who worked there. She showed them a few kittens that were up for adoption, but none of them really stood out to the couple. Then they heard a meow coming from behind a cage. It was the sound of a very cute kitten. The employee opened the cage, and a fluffy ball of orange fur ran straight into the man's arms. It was love at first sight. They decided to adopt the kitten and name it Garfield. When they brought Garfield home, he seemed very happy in his new environment. He played with the red dot on the wall, chased after toys, and got lots of love from his new owners. All was well until Garfield didn't stop growing. Within 6 weeks, Garfield grew 7 times larger than when he was first adopted. His owners were worried sick because they couldn't figure out what was going on. In fact, they had taken him to the vet several times, but each time the vet had told them that everything seemed fine. Although he was much bigger than other cats his age, it was nothing to worry about. At first, Garfield weighed only 2 pounds when he was adopted. Then he quickly gained weight and reached 4 pounds. Just 2 weeks later, he was already 7 pounds. By the time he was 8 months old, he weighed 14 pounds. And today, he's a healthy 19-pound cat. That means he gained 17 pounds in less than a year. And all of this happened after he was adopted. But it wasn't just his weight that increased. Garfield also grew to be a lot larger. When he was first adopted, he was the size of a regular kitten. But then he grew to be the size of a large dog. In fact, Garfield has gotten so big that his owners can barely fit him in their home. They have to move furniture around just so he can fit through the door. Garfield also has long legs, just like an ostrich. And to make things even stranger, ostriches are the only bird species on the planet with long legs. This makes Garfield even more unique. Now, before we continue, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. If you don't want to miss any future videos, this channel is all about amazing animals. So make sure to hit the subscribe button now. You won't regret it. Now let's get back to the video. Supercatalis are said to be magical beings that can change their shape at will. They can look like a cat when they want to, but they can also transform into any other animal, including an ostrich. Nobody knows where these creatures come from or why they appear on Earth, but it's rumored that anyone who sees a super cattail is granted a wish. The couple didn't know whether to believe these stories or not, but they couldn't deny that Garfield was a very special cat. He had emerald green eyes, silky soft fur, and he was incredibly affectionate towards his owners. Even though he was big and strong, he never scratched or bit anyone. He was also very intelligent and could solve problems that most cats can't. For example, he could open doors and cabinets by himself. He can also use a toilet like a dog. And he doesn't need a litter box because he just goes outside like any other animal. Garfield is also a very curious cat and loves to explore the world around him. He enjoys walks in the park where he can chase squirrels and birds. He also likes to swim in the ocean, which is something that most cats can't do. Garfield is such a good swimmer that many people think he's half otter. He's also a great hunter and can catch fish by himself. And even though he's big and strong, he's still very agile and can jump high places without any effort. It seems like Garfield is truly a one-of-a-kind cat, and there's no one else like him in the entire world. But it wasn't always easy being different. When Garfield was younger, he was often bullied by other cats because he looked different and was bigger than everyone else. This made him very sad, and he started to feel like he didn't belong anywhere. However, his owners always told him that he was special and loved him no matter what. This gave Garfield the strength to keep going, and eventually the other cats stopped bullying him. Today, Garfield is a happy and healthy cat, and he loves his life. He gets along with all the other animals in his neighborhood and is always welcome in any home. Even though he's a bit different, Garfield has found a place where he belongs and is loved by everyone around him. However, the truth is that Garfield is not a super cattle or a hybrid between a cat and an ostrich. He's simply a domestic cat that was born with gigantism. Gigantism is a medical condition that causes an animal to grow abnormally large. It usually happens when a cat is exposed to too much growth hormone while in the womb. This can cause them to be much bigger than other cats their age. Luckily, Garfield's condition isn't life-threatening and he's able to live a normal life. But it does make him a bit different from other cats, and that's what makes him so special. And an ostrich. The truth is that he's just a domestic cat with a rare medical condition. Despite his size, Garfield is a gentle and loving cat who enjoys spending time with his owners and playing with his toys. He's truly one of a kind, and his story is an inspiration to us all. No matter how different we may feel, we should always strive to be the best version of ourselves. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like.